Hi, everybody. I'm Annaliesa Chapman, Chief People Officer for the Travel Corporation based in the United States.
Hi everyone, I'm David Meany, Director Partner Marketing based in the UK.
It's so brilliant to be part of the IDEA Festival and great to see so many external speakers and our identity circles being represented. We really appreciate all the time and effort that everyone has put into this fantastic festival. It really is an opportunity to celebrate our differences by coming together as a family and making sure everyone is heard and welcomed. David and I just wanted to give you an update on our DE&I journey so that you are on the journey with us. So, as many of you know, in 2019 we launched TTC Idea. Many of you are in these great identity circles, and it really has grown since then to now into a full diversity, equity, and inclusion strategy with measurable goals across three core business functions. These functions are people and culture, product experiences, and marketing. So within each of those, we have function leads who are really in the detail every day, and they therefore can ensure that we are making decisions that are advancing our DE&I goals, embedded into our culture, not just sustained, but by continually being progressed.
It's been an incredible journey, and Annalisa, to think back to when we kind of started talking about this with Brett in early 2019 to today, it's just absolutely fantastic and so pleased to be here as part of this festival. Um, and our DEI strategy, which has come about from TTC Idea, it all forms part of our wider 5-year sustainability strategy, How We Tread Right. And working closely with the Tread Right team, we'll report on our DEI progress every year. Here's a short video which explains the strategy really well.
Diversity is the foundation of meaningful travel. We don't travel to experience sameness. We travel to meet different people, learn new perspectives, and explore unique cultures. Embracing diversity, equity, and inclusion is something we must all make a conscious effort to do. And at TTC, we've created a new DEI strategy with 3 work streams which are underpinned by the goals, priorities, and actions we'll take. We've taken a deep dive into our data to get an accurate understanding of the makeup of our employee base. This allows us to make targeted improvements in how we work, increasing DEI and the overall experience we provide our employees. We will increase recruitment from diverse underrepresented communities by ensuring our outreach to find new candidates is wide and diverse. Through ongoing training, events, and communications, we'll aim to cultivate a supportive, welcoming work environment that encourages advancement from within. Together, these actions will support us in achieving a more diverse leadership group in the future. Our service delivery teams will see us continue to create welcoming and inclusive environments for our guests and travelers. And our product contracting will prioritize supporting locally owned and underrepresented businesses in line with our sustainable tourism goals. Our teams across TTC will be trained on the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion in designing and delivering travel experiences. Our marketing teams are reviewing the diversity of our audiences who travel with our brands and identifying where new audience opportunities exist. And through partnerships and memberships, we'll grow our network of creative talent and brand partners that share the same ethos. We'll embrace the importance of diverse representation and ensure that this is communicated through all marketing touchpoints. TTC's DEI strategy is a fundamental part of How We Tread Right, which is the Travel Corporation's 5-year sustainability strategy. Our DEI actions will be measured against Goal 9 of the strategy. Learn more about how TTC is working to advance diversity and inclusion on our Impact Hub. And for any questions, please contact your regional P&C team or TTC Idea leads.
So thank you for coming on this journey with us. And now we want to introduce you to the team who are leading our DEI efforts across the globe. Over to Liz and Brooke, who are leading on people and culture.
Hi, I'm Liz McGiven and I head up People and Culture for Red Carnation Hotels.
Hi everyone, I'm Brooke Edmonds. I'm Head of People and Culture for the UK. You'll see the goals that fall under the People and Culture function. We have these goals in place because our aim ultimately is to create a culture where everyone showcases their best self. But that means we have to be deliberate with our actions and make sure that we have put thought into how we develop targeted and strategic recruitment and retention tactics, training, sustained learning and mentoring, and all touch points through the whole employment cycle.
Mental health is huge for companies in general at the moment, and we're no different. Plus, DEI general education is a big factor. DEI training that has already been rolled out, is currently being rolled out, and future programs too, including our annual Idea Festival, have and will help raise awareness. Also, during our induction process, on our benefits pages and packages, through the circles, and just talking about it. To become part of our culture, we need to keep talking about it.
It's about acknowledging and not shying away from differences, but embracing them so everyone can bring their true and authentic self to work. And from there, also realizing that we might need to be targeted in our approach or offer that extra support so that everyone has access to the same opportunities.
It means people will know that they can be their authentic selves and that there is allowance made and help for people who may belong to an underrepresented group. As an employer, we are mindful of additional support and recognise some may need different resources, flexibility, and other help in order to thrive and develop at work. Equity recognises that we are all different, and that's what makes each one of us great.
We see success by achieving our goals. Our DEI strategy spans across 5 years because we know we want this to be sustained and embedded improvement, and that happens over time.
Measuring how we're doing regularly and how people perceive us as an employer, seeing more people from underrepresented groups coming into the business and into higher positions, and that in turn we organically attract people because they know what we stand for, as our name is out there as a truly diverse and inclusive company, which will in time mark us as an employer of choice. We've formed meaningful partnerships with organisations that allow us to actively engage with women, people from more disadvantaged backgrounds, people of refugee status, people aged 50 plus years old returning into work, women returning to work, people of colour, getting women into roles that they historically were underrepresented in, working with homeless people and working with young people.
In line with TTCIPs under our incredible people pillar, TTC have developed a mentorship program, which is one way where we can build confidence and equip our team members with the skills they need to thrive in their TTC journey, to coach, encourage, advise, and explore new opportunities.
For the future, we're going to continue to progress our goals. We're going to continue working with our partners and we're going to develop those relationships further. We're also going to continue to hold events that showcase what we do and continue pushing forwards with improvement and change.
Kirsten, over to you.
Hi, everybody. Kirsten Bain here, Vice President of Operations for Kentucky in North America and Latin America, and talking to you today about our travel experiences and how we connect that to our DEI strategy. So there are 3 goals that we've been working towards in the past year as we've been having these conversations with all of the brands. The first one being training, making sure that our staff on the road have a great basis for understanding their role in DEI and what it means overall. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Nikki Cakebread, who through some miracle managed to pull together some training at the beginning of this season for the Europe team, which was then shared with all regions for the coach brands. And it gave a fantastic overview of DEI and the role of the travel director, trip manager, etc., in furthering that whilst on their trip. So thank you to Nikki and thank you to Gillian Gatrell also for that. But then obviously some great initiatives coming from Sivney and David with regards to future training modules that will appear on Litmus. And from that, we'll develop a probably a customized version of that for our on-road teams for next year, which is exciting. The second goal we've been working towards is acknowledgement of land rights in the regions where this is particularly important, like Australia, New Zealand, and North America, with the Indigenous communities and populations there. And I have to give credit to AAT Kings, who've really led the charge on this one. Plaques on coaches coming in the near future, land acknowledgements as they drive across Indigenous lands on all of their trips in Australia and New Zealand. And from that, we will be leapfrogging into a version of that for North America, hopefully in the near future, once we consult with local communities and with our tread right partners to understand the best wording to portray that to our guests. The third one is the support of underrepresented communities across all of our brands, across all of our products, including our river cruising. And this has taken on two facets. The first one is through our Tread Right grants, and we have been able to support the Pathways Project, which is a foundation here in the US, BIPOC community focused, bringing travel directors of color into the industry. We noticed that there's a huge shortage of this here in North America, and we were hoping that this would be the start to something that potentially goes global. It's future thoughts. But Leon Burnett is the foundation, the founder, I guess we can just call him that. And he's been instrumental in bringing this to Richard Launder and the Destination America team, who were integral in then garnering attention for the broader community in the industry here in the US. And this has been up and running now for just over 6 months, 8 months or so. And Leon has had a couple of graduates come out. We have one who is starting as a wellbeing director on our trips here in the US in a couple of weeks' time, Miles Tibbs, which is also very exciting. It's a proud moment for Leon and for the Travel Corporation. And Leon will actually be running our very first journey along the Civil Rights Trail in the US. Again, an itinerary that he helped and consulted on to create. And this flows into the second part of support of underrepresented communities, which doesn't just focus on the BIPOC community, but it's the LGBTQIA+ community as well, and others, depending on the region that the trips operate in. A couple of examples that I just want to call your attention to are Kentucky Pride. I've had a successful trip go out this year. African Travel have Pride Safaris on sale, and UniWorld works with the Our Family trips, which caters towards families of LGBTQIA+ communities. We also have, again, a very proud moment. Melissa De Silva's been talking about this. I've seen her on LinkedIn. Insight Vacations, Wonder Women Journeys. So you can see that there's a wide range of not just projects that we contribute to, but product that we create. And our contracting teams are working towards bringing these experiences, these suppliers, more to the forefront as we work towards 2023. And this all sets us up for what our amazing marketing teams are doing. So I'll hand over to them now.
We've gathered some of our colleagues across TTC who are leading the way for DEI within our marketing. And within our marketing DEI goals, we have 3 focuses. They are to identify new audiences, specifically within traditionally underrepresented communities, to grow new partnerships, and to increase representation in our marketing. So to jump straight into it, let's look at how we're doing across each of those goals. So looking at the first goal, Trinette, can you tell us about the work that we're doing to establish where the new audience opportunities are?
Sure, David. So here in the US, we were able to do some research with Epsilon, which is a research company, and they took all of our databases for all of our brands in the US, and they were able to look at the ethnic breakdown of the guests that are currently traveling with us and compare that to the population in the US to see how that compares and to see, are we diverse in our ethnic populations of our guests? And the answer was, well, we've got some work to do. So for us, we are now working to find where the gaps are, where the discrepancies are, so that we can try to reach out better and reach out in our marketing to the underrepresented groups so that we can close that gap in the diversity of our guests.
Thanks, Jeanette. And Reid, I know that we've recently kind of started to do some work in this area and you've launched a campaign based on this insight. Can you tell us about that? Our second goal focuses on growing new partnerships. And we know that to work with new partners, we need to work with the partners that allow us to reach into communities that we haven't done previously. And I'm pleased to say that we're partnering this year again with the International Gay Lesbian Travel Association. And that will allow us to continue to market proactively to this community. We also are keen to ensure that we're not just marketing to traditionally underrepresented communities, but we're also supporting the communities that we're targeting. And through TreadRight, we have new partnerships that do just that. So Shannon, can you tell us a bit about these partnerships?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And I appreciate you acknowledging that it's a fulsome approach, sort of what it is we're doing, who we're talking to, and then who we're supporting. And who we're supporting always comes from our TreadRight Foundation. To that end, we will have identified and announced 2 new projects in the past year. One is Rainbow Railroad, and they are a US and Canadian-based not-for-profit that identifies and provides safe passage for members of the LGBTQI plus community who are in harm in the country that they're in. And they bring them to perhaps the US, Canada, or the UK. They're wonderful. They're a really committed team. They're a really effective team. And they've helped us on other ways. They've helped us to identify some potential partnerships who can share their story to the Contiki marketplace. So it's been really fulsome. In addition to that, we have our Pathways project, which is spearheaded by a gentleman called Leon Barnett. And he really is a leader, and he helps us with our civil rights trail. He's literally written the book on the civil rights trail, and he's helping to identify members of a variety of underrepresented communities who we just don't have in our TD pool, and try and introduce them to working in travel and tourism and helping us to make sure that we have representation along our itineraries.
Absolutely. I love that, Shannon. We know that representation matters both on the people who are on our trips, but also those that are guiding. So these are great examples. Thank you for sharing. I know that Contiki have been smashing it this summer with new content specifically targeting that Gen Z LGBTQ plus community. The content looked insane, and I, for one, want to sign up for the next Contiki Pride trip. Can you tell us how was the shoot and how did it go?
Yeah, so the shoot was a great success. Thank you for shouting it out. Contiki's been a long-term supporter of the LGBTQI plus community, and this year we partnered with Visit Spain to head out on a content creation storytelling mission, because we all know Pride is so much more than a party, and that was the content that we wanted to showcase. So we hired a team of creatives in front of and behind the camera, full production team who were within the community themselves. So this was a real authentic storytelling piece, and it went live a few weeks ago in just in time for the Contiki Pride Spain trip, which launched in early September. And that's just one of the Pride trips that Contiki now has live, ready for 2023 sales. So a real building block for more to come in that space with Contiki.
Brilliant, great to see it. And we know that Pride isn't just for the youth audience. We celebrate Pride with many of our brands. And we've actually recently been working proactively to target the LGBTQIA plus family market across our key markets. Sherwin and Shernette, both of your brands are active in this space. Can you kind of give us an update on what's happening there?
Thank you, David. Yes, we are very excited to share that in 2020, African Travel actually launched Pride Safaris. And the goal here was really to offer inclusive hospitality, reflective of the community that we serve. What is really special about these experiences are that every large camp hotel that is being offered through all of our Pride journeys have been vetted by our staff members, and the guests who are being welcomed to these properties, all the staff have now completed sensitivity training. So it's really special that our guests are now able to travel to Africa, sometimes thinking that it's not necessarily inclusive, but with African travel, every guest is seen and met at the expectation of their needs. So we're really excited.
Thank you so much for that update, and sign me up. Sounds fab. We are striving for greater representation across multiple traditionally underrepresented communities, including Black and Indigenous people of colour, women, body shape diversity, age diversity, disability. And Gemma, I know that Trafalgar have developed a product which is specific to some of these communities. Can you tell us how that new product is going?
Absolutely, David. Thank you. So yes, actually both Trafalgar and Insight Vacations have been incredibly busy in the past 12 months launching our collection of women-only trips led by incredible female travel directors, and of course highlighting local female specialists, artisans and entrepreneurs along the way. So providing women with a really safe space to really embrace their wanderlust and make wonderful new friends. So it's a fantastic initiative for both brands. In addition to that, Trafalgar has also launched our Journey Along the Civil Rights Trail tour last year, which spotlights moving first-hand stories from the civil rights movement. And again, this is just an incredibly important historical tour and amazing to bring Black history to the fore. So we're really taking strides in that space. And this year we've launched an incredibly exciting tour. I'm so excited that I can barely get it out of my mouth, with Trafalgar, the National Parks and Native Trails of the Dakotas, which is a bespoke itinerary developed in conjunction and collaboration with the residing Native American communities in the Dakotas. So it's an incredibly authentic, one-of-a-kind insight into their history, culture and traditions. And I think all of this just goes to show that we are taking steps to ensure that we have greater representation across our product.
Yeah, and it's great that we're having, these new products come to market, because there's such rich storytelling for us to be doing as marketers, and also then, in using this new product to attract new audiences to our brands. It's fantastic to see. And we're ensuring that we're giving the communities a platform to tell their stories in front and behind the camera from a marketing perspective. We need to ensure that we are being true allies, both from the product development and from the storytelling perspective. So Rachel, I know that you've done some work recently in Canada for Kentucky. How did that one come about?
So this was a focus on the experiences that Kentucky travellers will actually get to do on all trips to Canada. So working with Kirsten Bain, she has found an amazing location in Alberta, and there's an amazing project run by Matricia called the Warrior Women. And Kentucky travellers get to visit Matricia and have a fireside chat, get to have an interpretive plant walk, and really learn about Indigenous culture in Canada and that female perspective of Matricia's life, her heritage, her culture, and a different perspective on tourism within Canada. So we took an Indigenous production crew and visited Matricia and created a storytelling piece to really highlight Matricia's amazing experience and bringing that to life for the Kentucky audience.
Fantastic. I hope this insight that wraps up our session, and I really hope that this insight into our marketing activity begins to paint a picture of the DEI journey that we're on and how we're embedding this into all of our marketing. Thanks to all of our great speakers today for joining, and I look forward to seeing what comes next as we move forward in our DEI journey. Thank you.